What's up, socials? Welcome back to my channel. I'm here in London, England at the Conrad London St. James Hotel, just steps away from Westminster Abbey in the middle of it all with the one and only Pat Flynn.
Hey.
I cannot believe we're finally making this happen.
Finally.
I know.
We've been friends for so long.
I know, so long. You've been a good friend to me. Thank you. If you don't know who Pat is, start Googling immediately. He is from smartpassiveincome.com, and he also has a killer YouTube channel where I actually got to meet you the first time in my city, Columbus, Ohio.
Yes.
Where we talked about your YouTube channel and how you are ramping up. This was probably maybe 4 years,
yeah,
3 years ago?
I have yet to really ramp it up like I
Stop,
said I
that's
was
not
going
true.
to, but it's going to happen.
That's not true. Go check it out immediately. One video in particular I thought was really great was, I think it was literally the first episode where you talked about how to write a book.
Yes.
And there was a really great sticky note strategy that felt very much in reach for me, and that was how I started thinking about it really for the first time. It didn't really come to be immediately, but I at least had the sticky notes done where I felt like I could potentially write a book, and I eventually
congratulations on your book.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. You have one coming up soon too. I know you've got one in the works, but with the two you have now, what was your first book?
The first one's called Let Go.
Let Go?
And the next one was called Will It Fly, which became a Wall Street Journal bestseller.
Yeah, what a great one. Definitely check that out too. But I wanted to snag you because I know that my community and my vlogging Facebook group has a lot of questions about what you do, Smart Passive Income. And I think we're going to dig into those. Sound
Let's
good?
do it.
Meg asks, when creating a course, how do you decide which idea or topic to pursue?
Okay, so you might have a lot of ideas or maybe not so many. The number one way to figure out what course to create is to ask your existing audience.
Ask. Isn't that so funny that that ends up being the answer to so many questions?
Right?
It's just like, just ask the people who are tuning in, or if they're not, the people that would be perfect as a part of your audience if you're just still trying to get there.
Right, so even if you don't have an audience yet, there are people having conversations about the problems that they're having,
Right.
the pains that they're dealing with. And I want to apologize about my voice.
No,
a little
that's
bit.
right. I forgot to preface that. You used up your entire voice in your keynote yesterday, which was, by the way, incredible,
Thank
at
you.
Youpreneur Summit put on by our good friend Chris Ducker. But thank you for salvaging just a little bit of it for us.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, those of you who know me and my podcast, you're like, this isn't the Pat
It's
Flynn I
not,
know,
yeah.
because this is
Are
not
you
his
sure
voice.
that's- yeah,
So
I-
if you have an audience, ask. It
Yeah.
takes the guesswork out. But you can also take the guesswork out by looking at existing groups or websites. There's great websites like answerthepublic.com or a lot of Facebook groups that you can go into to determine, okay, well, what are people needing help with? And then from there, before you create your course, what I would do is first create an outline for it, which is essentially your prototype, and then share it. And you can get to the point where you can even pre-sell that course.
Yeah.
So you can understand if people actually want to get it before you actually.
It's so funny because I've actually, I've talked about this recently. I was just in an article in HuffPo where I said, you know, people really tell you what they want if you ask them, but also if you ask them in a way where they're actually answering you with the form of, yes, I'll actually pay for this.
Right.
I think the biggest mistake I think that's made is going so far as to ask, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? Okay, great. I'm going to go and make it. I'm going to spend a lot of time and energy and not a whole lot of testing on making it, where we don't even really know, is it worth money to that person, or you know, what is that level of dollar?
A lot of people
like?
will tell you they would want to buy it because they want to tell you what you want to hear.
I know.
Right?
It's like, that sounds really nice, thank you.
But
I
Tim
need
Ferriss
the hard answer.
Tim Ferriss said the best way to validate a product idea is not to ask if they would want to buy. You ask them to buy. And that way you can know for sure.
pre-sale.
And the best part about this is even if you get people who are interested but don't buy, it's still a great point at which you can follow up with them. Okay, you're interested in this, you have this problem, I had a solution that I thought you would want. You didn't buy in on it, why not?
Where can we go from here?
Exactly.
Yeah, don't give up. Just like keep pivoting until you find where that sweet spot really is. That's
Right.
such good advice.
Pat, what are the first steps in building the machine?
Okay, so what are the first steps in building
What does that mean?
the machine?
what is the building?
Well,
the
you get a
machine
lot
mean?
of scrap metal
Okay.
and electronic parts.
All right, I'm
and you
out.
put 'em- okay, no, I'm just kidding. So what is the machine? The machine is a business that is fully automated, that runs for you. Instead of you having to put so much of yourself into the business, it's essentially creating a business that runs on its own so it can serve you and you can step away from it. But I do want to preface this by saying there's no such thing as full 100% automation. There's no such thing as 100% passive
It
income.
sounds so good, but it's like, how could that possibly be real and you really truly be serving people in the best possible way?
Right, but serving people in the best possible way can be done using tools and software. It can be done building a team to help serve that audience too. So by building the business first and then figuring out which parts could potentially be solved in your business with tools or other people, you're then able to remove yourself a little bit so you can focus on the things that you as the CEO of your company or as the head of your company can actually and should just be focusing on. That's really hard to do, especially when we are so involved in the start of our business and we're involved in every single little part.
Right.
I remember when I first started, I did everything for the first 6 years. I edited my posts, I did all the graphic design, edited my podcast, and I just felt so terrible with the
You're
idea.
on the hamster wheel a lot. You're constant. You know what you're doing is working toward where you want to be,
Right.
but it's still just a lot of the grind, and you're not able to look from a higher level as often because you're so in the weeds on all that.
Right, and then I also didn't trust anybody else to do those things because it was done in my own special way.
Yeah.
But once I got a taste of what it was like to hire somebody to edit my podcast or hire somebody else to do graphic design, I got obsessed with figuring out what else can I hand off that actually I found people could do better and faster than me. That was the big revelation.
Yeah, that's kind of like a special and hard moment I think people are willing to approach, but still like, how far away am I from that? And I think it comes down to just like map your way there. How much is it really going to cost you, and how much time are you going to get back? And how can you make more money in that time you got back by allowing somebody to help you and letting them be better than you and being okay with that?
So I think the first step is to do those things yourself. I think it's really important to not just hand off something right immediately when you start your business, because if you hand something off and you get used to that thing happening and then that person goes away or that company goes away or whatever, then you're kind of stuck. I know people who have started their podcast with help from others, and then that help goes away and they're stuck and their show kind of drops off because of that.
Yeah.
It's also great because you can then appreciate the work that your VA or your assistant or your team is going to put into it because you know how hard it is. And you appreciate it a little bit more. So the first step in building the machine is to do the work and become the machine yourself, but then lay out the pieces of what is necessary in your business to happen, and then pull out the ones that can be done by other tools or software, because we live in an age now where there are tools and software that can automate almost everything.
A lot of things.
But at the same time, you also want to make sure that you don't pull yourself away from the things that are needed, such as being social on social media. There's a lot of tools that automate that, but too many people automate it so much where they lose the social part of it. It's not personal anymore. Right,
and then and you don't even feel invested then in the relationships that could potentially be built there, but you're so distant from it now because the machine's handling it. Is it even considered a relationship then? That's where I think people get into that, but that's very well put. The machine. Well,
the other part of it is understanding how people come into your business, what happens to them there, how do they stick around, how do they then get into your email list and then into a product, how can you kind of funnel that in, and it all just requires mapping and really thinking about where people come in and how they get served even more down the road.
Right. So once you've done all of that, you'll have a machine that runs for you.
You can, yes.
But it's also like, okay, there's some stuff you got to do to get there.
Pat, are there any up-and-coming passive income strategies we should be looking forward to creating?
You know, it's an interesting question to start with the strategy. I think that's the wrong approach, actually. You want to start with how can you best serve your audience, and then from there you determine, okay, what are the products, services, tools, software required to serve that audience way. So what's up and coming may be different for you than it is for me because of the problems that each of our audiences have. But one thing that I would recommend that you look into that a lot of people aren't doing as much as they could be and should be, honestly, is affiliate marketing. I think there's so many opportunities for us to be the connector between the audience that we've built or are building and the tools and software and other offerings that are already out there that are serving that audience. And because, you know, there's a lot of things that I could hypothetically create myself, but I just don't have the time, but those things already exist.
Well, and it's really cool. I think I always recommend affiliate as an opportunity to start learning how to sell something. If you're not a great salesperson at heart, it's so much easier to talk about something someone else made that you're a believer in.
And hopefully
before you do your own thing. Yeah, and you, of course, and you used and you recommend it because it's aligned with the audience. But somebody else made it. I feel like it's a lot easier for us to go, oh my God, well, I love Pat's course on this. You should totally buy it. Totally. I believe in it. I took it. I go back to it all the time. Or if it's a software or whatever it is, I feel like it's a lot easier for people if they're just learning, how do I sell to an audience? How do I get them to trust what I'm saying? It's not just, I want you to buy something. It's, I genuinely think this is going to make you better or make you faster. I just feel like affiliate is such a great option for that because there's so many different ways to sign up for different affiliate programs. There's high level payout, low level, and you can just go all in on something that you absolutely trust, but don't actually have to be the customer service department for if it's not perfect.
Exactly, and you don't have to spend time creating a product,
Right.
which takes a long time, and you have
Right.
to test it, validate that these products already exist, and you're probably using some of these products already, and you might already even be recommending some of them, but just not as an affiliate. Some good tips for you for affiliate marketing is treat that product that is owned by somebody else as if it was your own.
Yes.
Too many people are just like, oh, I use this product, here's a link, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
But what would you do if it was your own product? You would show videos of it, you would demonstrate it, you would show proof why it helps you.
Your heart would be in it.
Oh, yeah.
Your blood, sweat, and tears would be in it.
Absolutely, and you know what? If you build trust with your audience, they're gonna look for ways to
Yeah.
pay you back.
Yeah.
And honestly, just by saying, hey guys, I use this tool, here's an affiliate link, if you go through this link, I do earn a commission. If you're from the US, you have to say that
Yes,
because
yes,
it's
must
FTC
disclose.
regulations.
Absolutely.
But people want to know that because, oh, you've helped me out, I'm going to go through that link
Yeah.
because I need that tool anyway and I want to pay you back.
Absolutely.
And it's at no extra cost to them. And then finally, one of my favorite strategies for affiliate marketing is to have an interview with the founder of that product. Because something that's more difficult when it's affiliate marketing is a little bit of that earning of that trust because it's not your product,
Right.
And so I do interviews with founders of companies or the people who built that software,
Yeah.
so that those interviews, whether they're blog posts or podcast episodes, they can help my audience trust that person and the person who's behind that product they're about to invest in.
And what I love about that is that goes back to what we talk about a lot about being a connector. And I mean, how incredible is that? To sit down with somebody that made something fantastic, something you believe in, and that you're saying, you guys should really be thinking about this. Well, let's talk to the person that knows it the absolute best. And now, how cool are you? You're sitting down with the founder, the CEO, and simply because you're saying, hey, I want more people to know about this, and so let's talk about it in sort of my medium, in my community. And I love that idea.
Yeah, some of
Great
those
content idea.
thank you. Well, some of those relationships and interviews have led to now stronger relationships with those people and those CEOs. And I'm now an advisor for Lead Pages and
Very
ConvertKit
cool.
and stuff.
That's right. I
so-
see your face on Lead Pages all the time. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
so it's
That's
cool.
awesome. Good point.
Nancy and Harley asked, Pat, if you really did go back to the future, what year would it be and why?
Okay, you have to give a little bit of backstory on this, I feel like.
I'm a huge Back to the Future fan.
Yes.
Like, huge, so huge that at a keynote once in 2015, I filmed a short film on the same parking lot that Back to the Future was filmed on.
It's only fitting that we stop here at Puente Hills Mall. Who can tell me why?
Oh, this is where Back to the Future was filmed, the best movie of all time and my favorite movie. That's right! Back to the Future!
That led into me coming on the stage in a real life DeLorean, and I got to live out my childhood dreams.
I will be linking to that video. You must go watch it immediately. It was so impressive. As a speaker, I just love watching what you're doing in that way. I know
Thank
we're
you.
taking a little bit of a turn here, but you really went all out for that keynote, and it just respect, period.
Well,
Just
thank
respect.
you.
That was it.
I mean, it was the 30-year anniversary that same year
So cool.
of the movie, and also the talk had to do with future-proofing your brand. So it wasn't just like, hey, I'm gonna come out in DeLorean.
No. You lined it up great,
Thank
but
you.
I think you had to be so excited. You were
Yeah,
like,
so
"Woo,
I'm
I
a
found
huge,
a reason to do this.
huge Back to the Future nerd. Actually, I was Doc Brown, and my son, who's 7, was Marty McFly for Halloween,
that's awesome.
which was awesome, and he loves it. Anyway,
Great.
I could talk for days about Back
About
to
Back
the
to
Future.
the Future.
But first of all, I haven't been to the future, so I can't go back to the
Okay,
future.
good to know. Okay,
For
because if
one.
you had, we could take a million
Oh yeah,
more questions.
live video is going to be really big,
Really?
I'm sure.
Okay, good.
And anyway, but no, honestly, if I can go to the past, if maybe that's the context of this question, if I can go back in the past and see my younger self, what would I tell myself?
Yeah.
The number one thing I would say is, because as a kid I was very shy. I didn't like to meet new people. I was always in the back of the class, never raised my hand, never liked
We're fellow
confrontation.
introverts here.
Yes, exactly. And I've learned over time that relationships that you build are the most important thing. Every amazing thing that's happened in my life has been the result of the people in and around my life at that time. From getting my job in architecture, it was through a relationship in the marching band in college, through meeting my wife and all these other things. It all happens because of the other people in my life. So my recommendation to my younger self, and maybe some of you right now, would be to meet and befriend as many people as you can, because you never know, you're maybe one relationship away from something truly amazing happening in your life, a big change that you need. And it might be just somebody knowing somebody else,
Yeah.
or somebody who has a connection, or who has a tool or a service who can help you, or you never know. And you can only go out there and meet people, and those create opportunities. I mean, when you think about how we get jobs today, it's not because you have an amazing resume. It's because of the people who you know, really, the hookups. So meet and befriend and try to provide value to as many people as possible, because that's always going to come back to you.
I love that. I love that you talked about that, because a video that I did probably last year that really hit a lot of people was just sort of how I've been successful as an introvert, and it goes right back to that point. Simply put, your message is too important for you to say, I'm too introverted to talk to people, I can't get outside of my box, I have to be able to do something and meet people, because they need to know what I know, and it's going to elevate me and it's going to elevate them. And so I think that that's really important that you mentioned that. Love
that, and also just don't worry about what other people are going to think about you.
Right.
So worried about,
that's a big one.
You know, and that led to a lot of low self-esteem, and again, probably combined with me just not meeting people, just being afraid of what other people thought.
Well, it's your own little bubble then. It's whatever you're telling yourself at that time, and that's not great. That's not
So
good.
go out, meet people,
Love it.
have fun, provide value. You're going to get that value back in some way, shape, or form.
Perfect. Pat, you're bomb.com. I'm so glad you're on here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wish
so
I owned
much.
that domain name.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be awesome? I've been working on it. It's not available. Tell everyone about your book. They need to go pick up, because especially if they're interested in this topic, passive income. What maybe affiliate marketing, but I think there's a lot of good direction in Will It Fly on if you're going to build your own product or build your own thing, how you really test that.
Yeah. So Will It Fly? You can find it at willitflybook.com. And it's all about how to make sure you find a product idea that aligns with not only the market that you're getting into, but also yourself. There's a lot of internal, is this product right for me? I know a lot of successful people who are 6- 7-figure business owners who, when I talk to them, they're like, I'm not happy because they went down the wrong path. They're at the top of a ladder, but it's not the ladder they wanted to be on top of.
Oh, yeah, ladder's in the wrong place.
Yeah, and that's so sad, because as an entrepreneur or as a creative, you have the opportunity to go in any direction that you want. So why would you not go down one that actually is fulfilling for you in your life? Absolutely. So there's a lot of internal exercises and thought experiments to align these ideas that you have in the business that you're potentially going to get into with who you want to become and the kind of person you want to be. But beyond that, there's a lot of fun ways to do market research so you can make sure these ideas align with the market that you're getting into, so that you can take the guesswork out. That's really what this is all about. Iterative litmus tests for these ideas to help you understand whether or not they're going to actually work or not, so that you don't have to waste time or money anymore before you start devoting that time and energy into a product or business. So check it out, willitflybook.com. Thank you for allowing me to share that.
Absolutely necessary for you to check that out. Thank you, Pat. That's all for today's socials. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes and continue to do the research, check in with your audience, find out what they really want from you. Even if they don't exist yet, go find them so you can go after the life you want. Cheers.